Is it all looking good? Are we focusing? Are we working? Are we doing it? Okay, we all good over there?
No, my mic is being weird. It's just like fell out. Oh, how did that happen? I plugged it in and then plugged it. I plugged it out like normally and then plugged it back in and it just snapped.
Oh, that sucks. It snapped inside of it, huh?
Yeah. Let me see.
Hmm. Any of the other headphones allow you to listen? Allow you to hear?
I don't know. But the thing snapped in there, so I can't really.
Yeah.
I need like a super tiny needle to pick it out or something.
Hmm. I guess you could go grab Bubba's. Bubba should be in bed. Go grab Bubba's controller and headset. You know?
Yeah.
Really quick and bring it in here. Do it. Either way. There go, there go, there go. I assume you meant like in Fortnite, right? Not like just follow me, because of course you can just follow me, but my Fortnite name is the same as this account name. My Epic is the same.
I know one controller works except Russell's, but I don't know.
Oh, snap.
Mic.
Whatever his headset is.
What?
I said whatever his headset is he had in that. Thank you. Pack pounds of love.
Next season is accordingly. It is again. It is Gojo season. Jujutsu Kaisen season again. Out there, Jujutsu Kaisen.
I like don't know why it says that, because it's like talent like never before, and then check this out, and it goes to nothing.
Ooh, there's a major. I can't ready up. This controller, I need a wire. It's just not.
I told you to get a wire. Don't you have plugs here? Where's your one cable? And that goes to that. You had a cable that was plugged into the front. A really long one. I gave you my really long one to use. Go to your mouse though, bro. You should literally have one right here. Look, I think it's to your keyboard, whatever the freaking look. This goes to here. Plug this into that.
Oh, no, it needs to be assigned anyway. I have to restart my Hornets. Completed.
Just waiting on my kid to finally get set, but you know how that is.
Really add, I didn't get to look in the shop. Did they really add Yuji Tadori back into the shop? Look all for it though.
Yeah, I don't. It's not in here. It's not. None of the Jujutsu Kaisen stuff is in here yet. I love this. Oh, it's cool.
We are both platanitos.
You know you make me wanna stick my head up and shout.
I think you really got
Yes, that gay snipper is slippery. Oh, yes! I love it! I love it! I love this too. I want it. I want it so bad. Look at every high boss. This is like a robot lady. I love it. Ooh, I like you. I like you, Yellow Jacket. I think you should be a lot more than $4. Ooh, synthwave boost. I like this. Ooh, it makes a song.
and I get
tried Cosmic Rift yet? Have you tried this yet?
Oh yeah, I saw you playing it. Okay, right here. Okay,
Final boss is pretty cool. He's a big little interstellar snake. You updated this? Let me see. What?
that was you on purpose.
I was just doing Blitz. Because the only reason. Oh, it's so cute. I was doing Blitz for the only reason because I needed victory crowns for things. I didn't expect you to know what victory crowns I was at while I was playing Blitz for my ranked 0 build.
I'm your father.
He knows everything. May I have the Mentos, please? Thank
I
you.
was already on top of it.
These are really, 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 like, not. These are really not my thing because they're not like the best. They're way too.
Anyways, I wasn't gonna pick on you, but you were start time.
What was it?
I have Autistic, but it's it didn't validate. I have islands. I gotta figure out. What do you mean weird? It doesn't look like that. What do you got? But the next step is to add 50 things. Well, I want to add 50 like stuff. Fingers like that. You know. Well, I mean, I'm probably gonna add this to the normal. Coliseum or whatever. It wasn't but at Coliseum, then I like flattened all this out properly and made it all look right. Made it all working. And then it wouldn't work.
Why did you do that to my
mean, this is a good amount of time. It means honestly, which, that leaves even over here. And it doesn't run off, you can't run off the map at least. Yeah, pretty much.
Just keep running, why is it not to do it? I can just do this all day and I don't need to like be alive all the way out
Well, it hit me in. Like, I gotta lay down the bottom, but all the water is like functioning. All the water is functioning. It's all functioning and it's all flowing. I like the little. I'm like but over here is some pretty solid, nice water, and it looks good. Probably the end of the map, but don't have a barrier on it yet. So, I don't know, and with some trees, and like what I like about it is like, right here, like a little area to where like deep enough water, and then we can build like a little like a little area over here. Like look over here, like it's like a little track for it to get through right there, you know. Right here.
actually getting closer. I will reach the island
Blocked off. Like we got some depth over here, which is good. Well, I think we probably could some type of swimming or whatever.
I understand why Fortnite did that because it would be super easy to hide and it's like after 20 seconds, they can just like get up the island or whatever so they don't drown. But like, when Fortnite
So it's got some distance though. There's some serious size to it, right? cat like really wants like attention. I'm trying to show my
Now I can't even see the mouth.
if anyone wants to smack around their kids or whatever. What is going on? So what is this?
You should watch it. I want to watch it.
If it's going on, I want to watch it too. But like every time that it does that, it's never going on.
It said there would be one on July like 19th. Eastern time, I'm pretty sure. Which cat is that? Oh, totally. Thule. It's Thule.
Baby. Dope.
I want Thule.
Dope. More, baby.
Can I have Thule?
Baby.
Oh, there's one.
Meet Easy and Sinet, though. They're currently in control. They don't have a whole lot of materials left over. Dean is still backside of zone, just hoping to skirt by unnoticed. But Deal, Volko, Cringe, farming out whatever last bit of material they can find. They need every single mat at this stage. They were just here in the last lobby, Dakota, and now they don't want to find that second. They want to be very slow. Maybe taking out Cringe, Volko, the Deal. A trio looking incredibly healthy, all things considered. And Cringe, both of you, they know it's really just this team on hype that we've got to deal with.
The 3v3, the high below, we've seen this countless times. In Fortnite competitive, they're experienced players knowing they need to hit their shots. The Frizzy takes out Cringe, Volko now is doing what he can to stay up with the deal, just a sliver of HP. Sined, can you connect the shot? All you have is one more tick of zone. He tries to pop the jump, but he doesn't have time. Volko is going to clean it up. Cringe for the deal end up taking home game 2, and what a way to push themselves into the finals.
After that lobby one, it was so clear that Cringe, Volko, and the deal had a very strong grasp of how they actually want to play these low ground front sides of zone.
Yeah,
but to
major,
see them
just like it said, bro.
immediately transition from that placement in the first lobby to now a pure royale, it's got to be an insanely good feeling for these guys.
Oh yeah, 9 eliminations, second place, into 11 eliminations, first place. It was everything they needed, and with the double chug, the deal was able to last it out. What a way to close it out. I mean, it was almost flawlessly played from the low ground control to closing it out. Let me know what you guys on the desk have to say, because that looked incredibly clean.
I know we're only 2 games in to Major 3, boys, but the class acts we've seen from some of these trios so far is making me so excited as we move through this series, because Cringe, Volko and Video, they might be a new trio, but they have the game plan, I think, that's going to be right up there with more established trios.
That's after last game, we can keep playing how they were playing in that first match. They're gonna be well on their way to getting a win. I didn't think they'd do it so soon on me.
No, I didn't either. It was quite a similar zone actually to what we saw in that very first game. So they always had a very, very similar game to what they played in that first one as well. They had the exact same situation. They had their surge done early. They played low ground really well as well. And at the beginning of the show, I asked a few questions. I was like, is this the right move here for Volko and Fringe? Of course, doing very well with Kiduo last season. Switching him out from the deal. So far, so good for this team, though. That is showing how well they can play despite being easy.
I mean, when the deal was on the market, I'm sure there was so many players. I mean, it's like, oh gosh, we could get him in our trio. It's no wonder that Fringe and Volko were like, you know what, 12, that was good, but Badil is someone who can, who can take an FNCS final. So I think it makes a lot of sense. But for me, the fact that they're performing so well already as a trio is something that doesn't just make sense, it's something that is to my senses. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about all the action from game number 6. See you in a few. Group 1 of Major 3, and our European trios are truly turning up. We have seen Cringe, Volko, and Vadil, a brand new trio for Major 3, go through to the grand finals. They know that they'll be seeing Marius, Pixie, and Vanilla as they won game number 1. But in game number 2, we did see some early fortunes turn up for the books for Doxy's trio and Thomas's trio, but neither of them we saw performing in those final moments, unfortunately, boys. So I kind of want to talk about what went wrong. Starting with Thomas, Sky, and Scroll. So we see Scroll having to try and clutch things out for his team, but I'm not really sure. We saw separation in the first game, but Level, what's happening in the second?
I mean, this game was a bit better for them, I guess. It got much deeper with both players alive, all three players alive at one point before we see Skyline down. And then again, it's just like a bit more timing, right? Scroll's able to see through and get through that passage. Thomas can't quite follow, and then he just falls to clutch shot.
Yeah, it's not the ideal game for these guys, but I mean, it's a consistent format. Not a bad game, not a terrible game, not an ideal game, but just an okay game for these guys. Yeah, not awful. Just continuing to get a little bit split in those end games. We saw, of course, Sky going down, not quite together with his team, so struggling in that regard. But I mean, it's still early days.
Certainly looking good enough for the Group 1 lobby so far. But for Doxy's trio, this was a fantastic early game. It feels like it could not have gone better for these guys. For Doxy was on form for... Then, again, Zone 8, Pablo's trying to clutch on his own mini-minor.
Yeah, I mean, this is just exactly what this team do. They like to play aggressive early on. I mean, Predoxy with those dual-wheel pistols, he is next level with those, getting so much damage early on. And it's just this point in the game, it's happened again here, 11, where there's just one or two of them getting knocked, then it sends the whole team into a frenzy, no one knows what to do. Somehow Pablo stays alive, I don't know how he did it, but there's a few mistakes that are being made here at this stage of the game, maybe a little bit of over-aggression.
It wasn't really over-aggression there. They sort of ran into the wrong team. It was Volko's team, right? The game winners. And it was a classic case of, hey, Danish guys, remember, German pings still exist, right? They get pre-edited, Predoxy gets caught out. If Predoxy can escape, there's probably a good chance he stays alive, but his teammates had both sort of moved into the boxes next to him. It was a bit unfortunate there. So, again, I'm not worried too much about this team. Again, the setup in this game was a lot better, but, you know, sometimes you can just decide you get pre-edited, you're up against some Germans and it doesn't work out for you.
You sound like someone on Twitter now. Like, I just imagine Predoxy taking the trip already. It was like, it was ping, guys. It was ping. Let's take a look at Stanley's Open. This is an interesting one. Obviously, it's consistency and victory royales. 5 victory royales, and then the top 5 beneath that will be going through. We haven't really had a chance to talk about some of these trios, though. But how are Kaisers and Mashak? I guess they're just having a balanced game and not quite make it to the final 2 mini.
Yeah, they've had a 2nd and a 6th so far, so pretty solid performances. Haven't seen too much firepower from them, haven't seen anything that's going to make me think, oh yeah, they're going to come on and take this next game by storm, but it's these sort of teams that can sort of take you by surprise a little bit, you know, making their consistent games happen.
I love that I was just like, they haven't made it to any top 2s, and he's just like, they made it to a 2nd, but he didn't shame them, just shamed myself. Interestingly, in that last game, it was one of these kind of lesser experienced trios who did take that high ground. We saw Julie and his teammates up on top, but it was just getting unlucky with the maps here.
Well, they invested a lot of maps to take out, and this is a team who, you know, it's going to be a tough lobby for them because they're contested, and if they were uncontested, initially I was looking at Madelo's lobby, they were uncontested, and I was like, these guys are a sneaky team, we should be able to qualify through. But when they don't have as many opportunities to have games, they're going to go for the gambit, right? I mean, like, a lot of the times, if you know you don't have plenty of games to play with, when you get opportunities to take out, you're just going to take it. And so they invested a lot of materials, they run out of steam, and then they lose as a result of it. So hopefully we can see them maybe in those situations look to be a bit more aggressive on the refreshes.
Yeah, it's difficult with that, because I think 2 different teams trying to take high hits at the same time. You had Teamy on there as a solo as well, causing havoc, so it was difficult for them when you don't have as much experience on high, for them to actually find success, but as you mentioned, they're going to need to make those games count, so we'll see what they can do for the rest of them.
Well, we have got 3 more games to go before we wrap up the action for Group 1. Are there any trios that you haven't seen inside the top 10 that you're surprised by? I know we've got the return of Revstar. Didn't necessarily have the best start to the lobby, but is he someone you're expecting to go up in numbers as we head through these games?
Yeah, potentially, man. Shout out to Revstar. So we're back in Revstar now.
We should be backing Revstar. We don't want them to retire again, boys. Come on, Revstar, we've got you back, and we also got game number 3 ready to go. So let's head to Jakarta and Paco.
Thanks, Frankie. Look, I got faith for Revstar, okay? He's in 16th place now, I believe. He started off not too strong going down on spawn, so you know what? It's still possible. But it always surprises me how quickly these games go through in the group stage, and we're already ready for game 3, so let's get right into it.
And it really is impressive how quickly the lobbies can just be burned through Takata. It's kind of a mental game players because you obviously want to see if you can find that victory royale, take your best shot. But even if you don't get that game win, you can still play for the consistency metrics. And a handful of our teams today are not able to look at that consistency. Demon's Domain will be left alone though.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about consistency, that was so Ghost Piper and Drool, who, you know, they were just talking about them on the desk about their high ground performance, was the team contesting demons. So I'm wondering if they kind of saw that bright light with high ground. They're like, we're so close. We don't want to go down again in the early game, deciding to switch up their drop. I don't know if that's going to be the play. I mean, they're in 13th now. I think they were more trying to plan for that win, so we'll see what ends up happening, where they ended up dropping. But Revsguard, Skyjump, Mongzy, once again, contesting in Crime City. They got the off spawn win in the previous match, but back-to-back. I don't know if it's going to be possible, hopefully. We'll see.
Rax over by Resistance base, trying to see if they can find some early trades on surge tags. Doesn't pan out. Slightly in his favor. A little bit of trouble brewing though elsewhere. Alba and her team trying to see if they can find this collapse. Hyland just runs by and is immediately punished. Ego now left to try and fight back, but Props will be found as a return fire. And this is getting messy now for both of these teams. Seems like neither side is really profited too heavily off this one. But now it could be down to Kettadam Power to decide who's going to take it here, keep their pride going for their team. But Kata just doesn't want to go for that initial shot just yet. Kind of backing up. Creating a little space. Maybe trying to see if they can find that final finish. And sure enough, that's got the power to have to commit to a decision now. Do I continue this fight, or do I just try to play for the reboots?
Take the 1v1, you know,
Well, he gave too much time now.
yeah, I was gonna say, he's gonna let him pick up his teammate. Might have just done it. We'll look at the fight here. At Crime City, it looks like Revsguard has elimination, so they have the upper hand in the 3 versus 2. Looking at the minimap, I don't see any potential third parties this time around, so looks like they have the opportunity to close it out once again.
It's the early conclusions that Revsguard team is after. Skies is a great initial elimination, but you can't seem to find that opening. Revsguard gonna be dropped though. Below ground has to retreat, lost his shield entirely. Skies are launching up, probably enough. They're gonna get the return fire now on the Skies. Helio also getting lit up along the way. Revsguard knows he's got nothing left in the tank, and he'll get that final elimination. And these quick conclusions, though, is exactly what we need to see the repeat circumstances of. Last game, they were able to also find that quick conclusion. Same can't be said, though, for Helva and Kettadam. They finally take out the team that was initially contesting them, but now they have to deal with Noya, Kovacs, and Cole, who are just substantially too healthy. This is going to be a very easy third-party chase down for them.
Yeah, I mean, not much you can do. Mist forms, got the dashes, got everything to chase down your opponents now, which seen a lot of success in this early game, but converting that early game success to the late game is kind of what a lot of these shows have been lacking. So it seems that Ghost, Jewel, and Hyper have decided to go Flooded Frogs. This is where, at the start in game 1, where Vanya's trio qualified from, they said, okay, you know, let's go to that spot, see if it's contested, uncontested, and for now, it seems to be working out for them, because, you know, they're all 3 up, it seems like they have a good amount of loot, but now you have to fight against the top trio coming in from the play-ins, which is Pablo, Gino, and Verdoxy. But they have had some issues, you know, staying up as a trio. You saw the stat that Pablo has been clutching out an incredible amount of solo points, but this isn't a solo left in CS Taco, this is trios. So hopefully this time around, we can see the full trio in action.
But they made it a little bit further each lobby. Just a couple of unexpected encounters really catch them off guard. Chuck and Hazat might add to the spoiler party here for Verdoxy's team. They don't realize that they're getting third party. They're still trying to take this. I think up engagement with Jewel, Ghost, and Hyper, and now Red Alerts. No, Chuck actually might be able to get this sneak up on for Doxy.
Oh no.
Got him.
This is a dangerous place to be right now.
This would be a tragedy. Roxy gets picked off like this. It could be anyone though. As it seems like are they even disengaging? I'm not sure if it was like a calculated disengage or maybe like, no, we're taking too much time. Haven't hit a big shot off. It's just too risky at this point. And that kind of like spidey sense was perfect timing. As they might not have even known the third party was here, but now they're gonna know. And both trails have exited on their own path.
Sure, they're probably recognizing the fact that the shots being fired don't belong to them. Still, not the heads-up win that you'd be hoping for. Good and Bree's team, on the other hand, they're able to find a couple of early eliminations. Outskirts of the map position, though, you still got to make your way into the zone. AKA Reaper and Good and Bree, they really wanted to get that chase out and find confirmation on those early eliminations. This doesn't surprise me at all to see the Outpost having a little bit more action early on, given that Video, Cringe, and Volko just qualified to finals from that last lobby win. But one of these teams is kind of got to stick your foot down, right? You want to be the team to kind of claim that opened up position.
Yeah, sometimes it takes more than just one game, as we saw from Ghost, Hyper, and Jewel. Took them now until the third match to actually go to Flooded. I wonder if anyone even went there in the second match. But so far it is kind of a waiting game, an angles game. They have zones so close by that they have the time to spend.
Yo, thank you, sorry. Oh!
Realizing maybe
Ah!
he's not going to be the first to fall, though. Crazy exchange to start things off, but it's actually Vitro paying the price currently. Faded, if he's not careful,
Faded like
might be in a very
So
position
close,
here.
having a
Faded will manage to create a little bit of a gap. Vitro loses Sony now,
oh, Faded.
Just left as a
oh,
duo.
Faded's almost in trouble.
but this is a really awkward angle that he's trying to find.
Oh,
Faded
he tried.
behind him, but still can't manage fully break through these builds. The supportive measures being taken by Faded's team right now, a little bit too impactful here. And Lethro now completely separated from his other teammate. They've got to reunite and try to play this one out together.
Yeah, some impressive counter shots by Faded's trio, to be fair. They got kind of surprise attack, but still were able to connect high damage comp shots, kind of pushing them to the upper hand. Despite it now, not only did they want to take up one, they want to finish this off. 3 more eliminations now on the board. Quick 9 points, quick refresh. This is perfect for them going forwards.
Those aren't the only teams getting stuck in some of these early game battles. Owl, Quiddix, and Snozy. That's a nice opening knock on the Antoine, but even with that being said, still enough surrounding members to make it so
and the
difficult to
bait.
close in on.
Oh!
Owl loses Quiddix, but finding Nade means that they'll be able to play for that double revive, and Kendro.
What are you opening? Oh god, you knew you was dead, bro.
Knows, left by himself, opened up the wall, and that was just a given, and he lived shortly after.
They're hauling out. Pretty calm.
Got him. Got look at my set. Look at my
They've
set.
got loot, they've got match, they've got kind of everything they need here. All you gotta look out for at this point in the match is damage. It's kind of risky to play fully on congested side, you know, if you're thinking about how to rotate in these lobbies. You know, ideally, you want to run into the least amount of people as possible in theory and get the best position, but sometimes the best position won't open up a lot of opportunities to get that damage. So if you're looking for a primed up position, you want to make sure you have a good amount of eliminations or damage before that, and if not, the prime position for you might be looking at the congested side. For Doxy follows Shino now. It's been an interesting run for them so far in these first couple matches. They do very good in the early game, but kind of fall off and crumble in the mid to late game. Keeping Pablo as a solo both times, so hopefully this time around he not only find that success here, but also continue with that momentum throughout the rest of the match.
I think it's also just been the fact that they've just been caught kind of off guard by teams just hunkered down in cutoff moments for their rotates. I think that's a big part of the reason why they seem to be trying to clear out space before they actually make their move forward. They know these are teams that are already hurt. They've been in these outskirt positions fighting for a while. You can just play cleanup crew, essentially, as Chino now making the approach, taking two separate angles. This is what makes it so devastating to try and fight into Prodoxy's team, though. They're just all so strong at taking these separate angle engagements. Chino, though, not the shot that he was hoping for. Trying to get that angle in instead. Looking to try and collapse onto Azza and his teammate. Overhead, though, they've got to be real wary. All these shots drawing some attention.
Yeah, you can see the attention coming about on the bottom right of the mini map. Full trio getting closer, but Prodoxy just needs one big shot to connect, but once again he goes down, full on eliminated. A perfect opportunity for the trio hunting them down to go on in. It's actually going to be Hyper, Ghost, and Jules, so you wouldn't expect them to have a set plan for this part of the map, you know, switching their drop to flooded, but a third party can happen anytime, anywhere. And once they find out that there's not a single full trio, it's going to allow them to kind of play that extra aggressive play style.
This is about to be bad news bears for one, if not both of those teams, though. Chino and Pablo. They know that we've been here entirely too long. We need to just get out. On the other hand, though, goes Hyper Jewel. They've already found one knock. They're just going to chase out Mithrofan for the other. And Ghost finally coming to a slight lull there just because they're being tied from a different direction entirely, but that's kind of all that was needed. Duo situation, very easy for a full team to chase down, especially when they have such an upper hand in positioning.
This is looking good, actually. From last game where they got hype, but just crumbled when it was contested, running out of materials. Now, hopefully, they can have a better shot at it. They're kind of set up for it. Sinet and Frizzy, Wheat, on the other hand, I mean, this trio has been playing incredibly safe, so I'm curious to see how much damage they actually have. 68 players up.
It's definitely awkward, though, for teams that are having to invest time looking for those reboot moments in comparison to trios like Nefreezy's that are already kind of just rolling through, trying to get established in good areas where they can see who else is approaching and also maybe try and prevent them from coming their direction. Giras, Frenek, Dean is though inside Utopia City. They've got elevation, but clearly other teams in the area taking notice where they pops up at.
Taking a look at Sky Jump. Old Brett is actually back in the game now with Chino and Pablo. It's gonna be Momsy on the other end. You never really want to get into a fight after rebooting with, you can see the gray shotguns, low amount of mats, low amount of heals, but Skyjump, Momsy, and Reshguard, I think are in the best position either. They did have basically all of Crime City though, so they should be booted up. They already have those initial 3 eliminations. I don't think they want to take any more risks.
Never trying to find more certain, but Chino nearly had an opening opportunity there on the Momsy. Now Momsy and Skyjump, they're just gonna begin their dash rotates away. This is a big window for Prodoxy's team that they're not gonna have to deal with that pressure any further. Team speed and Trulex. Same can't be said for them. Teams clearly wary of the direction that they're headed. They try to cut across Utopia City, kind of hovering more towards the low side, hoping that that natural map terrain can provide enough coverage away from Frenetic and Co.
though. Now Zone has pulled off the such map though. Looks like it is going more east, so Hashi and his trio are gonna have to focus more on the rotate here than the trios and players around them, which is Rax and Belusi. Oof. That does not look too good.
Could just be that losing Zengi, that might have been holding on to most of their surge, but Rax gonna take that shield crack as his green light get active. Fudan immediately shuts that dream down though. Rax eliminated. It is exclusively down to Belusi to turn this one around, and that's just not gonna be the case. Kashi, Relvis, and Fudan fighting back. That was a big win for them though. Two really nice refreshes there.
Two really nice loot bombs coming their way. Quick one-day delivery. Ghost Pipers. Well, I'm excited to see how they play out this late game. Always curious to see after switching drops how they're able to do, but so far so good. This is where it gets a bit complicated though. They are going to refresh their dashes with that dash sprite, and once they see where this zone ends up pulling, hopefully they can play towards it, but Autistic and Pablo, they have damage, but they are not in a great situation. That reboot really put them behind in terms of positioning, in terms of loot, materials. They're going to have to rely on a refresh, but with the amount of damage that they were able to do in the play-ins, how dominant they've been fighting throughout this season, wouldn't be surprised if they're able to pick one up.
Between 2-tick zones and being underneath damage or surge threshold, Loki, QB, Sangil, just scrambling to try and come up with some sort of damage. Instead, it's going to be Sangil losing his life here. That's first elimination of the trio. Saya, Ricky, Zada doing what they can just to maintain this established position on the hill, but even they know they want to get out of here. They don't want to get caught in last second congestion on this next rotate. They're going to be headed straight into the heart of the rest of the lobby, it seems like. So QB, the last one left from his team, just trying to get in, but everybody else just cutting him off, and it's just not going to be possible. Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy, seemingly the final boss as teams try to make this crossover through obesity.
Never really liked the water in these final zones. I mean, it's fun to watch, but as a player, it's not as enjoyable. At least there's a good amount of mobility this season, so you can get the job done. You can see a lot of players kind of choosing to be based up on bridge or just anywhere that's been elevated. I want to see more from Shark, Lockline Combat in this match. Our eyes have been on them, but still waiting to see some big plays coming from them. Now being just 12 above, they're kind of on the edge here. Good news is so much vision that they have those options to get that damage, but this is going to be a tough zone.
An initial hiccup though for Ferdoxy's team, having to play for that reboot, putting a little bit of the effort in their initial rotational plan. So now they're caught, stuck inside all this fair layer congestion, and Gino, Ferdoxy, Pablo, trying to keep their wits about them, but they're just taking shots from every direction. And now Gino just trying to miss one back to the top. CD can reunite with his team. Ferdoxy the healthiest one out of the three. Forced into the water, forced to ultimate low, hoping that nobody sees him, because Chino not able to escape. Pablo, he's danced around for so long, but he's not going to be able to withstand lobby pressure either. And now Ferdoxy can play that medkit if he wants to buy a little bit of time playing from backside of zone, but this is looking like a rough journey right now.
You know, at least it's not Pablo having to solo clutch it. We got Fred now. Issue is, he's got no mats, but a quick shot is going to be enough to pick up the siphon. The issue is a whole other player goes down. He's going to get, what, 22 HP, 1v2, no mats at that point. There's only so much you can do. Ricky is going to finish that up, and now continue on forwards.
It's not like you're really left in all that great of a position though. Macy after Pablo and Kaiser's are set up nice and pretty. I'm gazing over at where Full Million and Kovacs are at, separate height approach. Wow, nearly getting a nice shot there with DMR. I like this wraparound rotate though. Use this cliff face as a little bit of natural terrain coverage to get to this next edge of the zone. Getting a lot of hard material though to this car valve, just trying to claim as much space as he can. And fully depending on his team to potentially find the next opening. If they can just clear out one or two humans, I can set themselves up for their next rotate.
Good. Now, the pressure's on with 75. Now up to 124 below. Storms are taking. Meds being split up. Players below them, they know. All they need are a few shots to connect here. Law has been fully cracked. Don't want to use all your heals here, but they've been low for the past couple zones, so they've been unable to get a good amount of damage. So now it's from the pressure. Really is on.
But they're just 6 below here, Takata, and low ground is going to be the best spot for them to try and find a straggler or two, get a good connecting shot. Shark finds piece of one. Maciac gonna lose his shield entirely. A Shark now closing in. Maciac also suffering from this surgical damage. As another trio just is so much trouble here, but Comet can't escape. It's just a cluster in the low ground. Shark now trying to get overhead. Brahava gonna be the only one playing out his medkit, but with the surgical damage, the boot, and the lobby focus, he's just trapped behind everyone else.
There's too much focus. It's way too difficult to make yourself hit it in these moments. Borraro has somehow made it into zone almost. 15 HP if the medkit's gonna be popped. No! All the metal builds. I don't know if he's gonna have enough time. The Misto is gonna give him just a bit more heals as he runs on in. Somehow has done it. The issue is just a handful of builds left. Runs into a full trio. Rickboard on the other end of the door, and it looks like Hyper, Jewel, and Ghost, they might look for this high ground early on once again.
This is the right intention too for Jewel, Hyper, and Ghost. Last lobby they had height. The issue was they just ran too low on material by the time they started getting challenged by other teams for that height take. Blaha underneath has the misform, get himself forward, but with no materials, he has to find an immediate knock and pick up 3 kills along the way. But needs to see if he can find this solo lurking underneath him. Knows there's a member there, but so does Oki. Not trying to give him a chance. Blaha, one build is all that remains. And if he doesn't find his next elimination ASAP, Takata, he might not even have the HP to try and play with it for much longer.
I like the position the issue is. There's a lot of trios close by. And that's not what you want to run into as a solo, as Blaha is now thinking of his options. One build on the board, cooldown running low on that misform. He is going to be able to use it as he puts himself not fully ahead of zone, but in a great position here actually to withstand just a bit longer. Sined is going to go down. One quick pump is all that it took. The refresh comes through now. He has the mats, but unfortunately, Breast Guard is going to finish it.
The dangers of playing backside of zone, you force to go in your position when you're just looking for any kind of refresh. Could pick up the 4 rest, give him a little bit more material to work with. This isn't a time for any sort of relief, height spraying down into where he was just at. And that's the kind of control that you need from the team on height. You want to punch these players in the lower layers. Kovacs, also solo, just so many teams losing a member or two along the way. And Redguard is not another big elimination, but unfortunately spotted out and will finally meet his end in this lobby.
Good amount of eliminations, looking very bright for Ghost and his trio up above as well. They weren't able to hold on to high last game now. They have another shot at it with just 8 trios up and running. They're getting closer and closer to being able to close this one off. So many solos doing what they can. Rickboard goes down. Skippity with a huge pickup now, doing what he can for Truex and TD as the event is going to come through. But a Hayloft with Jewel now have to decide, okay, are we going to play this Hayloft or are we going to drop down? Are there any teams on second height that are looking to contest us? How do we end up winning this match?
But unfortunately, we're going to shut that one down. Donald jumps in. But that was a little bit too aggressive there. Kashi Relvis viewed that immediately, taking full advantage of those last minute jump-ins, but Hyper going back overhead. This is going to make things really difficult now for Cashy and Gideon to withstand the pressure. They refresh it, and Kuzo and Howie somehow still skirting by in this low ground, and so much loot in the backside of the zone.
The fight for high begins. Fearing, is he going to be able to hold on to it? Looks like it wasn't even much of a fight at all. They instantly gave it up, but actually, they're looking for the chop down. Just 2 more builds connected. Hyper, can you do it? The chop comes through, and now the trio above is going to fall down. This battle needs everything. They have to be careful with the players down low. They could disrupt this initial challenge, but it looks like Cashy and his trio are going to continue holding on to the high ground.
Nobody has any materials. Finally, Hyper takes out Howie. That second material could be the ultimate difference maker here. Takata, team on height, still looking to see if they can play this to their advantage. They're going to finally get chopped out. Cashy, though, immediately loses relatives immediately, but he can't withstand it. Jewel, take over at the very last second. It was so down to the wire here, Takata, but high ground ultimately paid off.
They got the job done. From Demon's Domain in game 1 to Ghost Hyper Jewel, they were contested. They said, you know what? We got high ground in game 2. We weren't able to close it off. Let's play it safe for this next match. We'll land flooded frogs. We'll play for height once again. You can see exactly how they ended up overtaking it. And this time around, they did actually run out of the materials, but it was in those final moments where all they had to do was take that 3 versus 3 and being able to land their shots, being able to come out on top is what granted them that spot in the EU Major 3 finals.
Everybody had to essentially win their ones, and that's exactly what took place for the most part here. Jewel was just on fire with that unstable yoink. The benefits of having that exotic at the last moment there could not have been a bigger thing with Takata. But of course, that's not the only thing we saw. We've got our lovely Des to take it from here.
All I'm saying is, guys, you gotta rip it to win it, because there is something about Flooded Frogs that makes winners this season of Fortnite. Levin, how did you feel about that win from the Doolin team? Because this is more of a rookie team compared to some of our other trios.